Here's one more example in case the multi-step factoring is a little bit cumbersome and you want one more example to see that. On the top here we have 3k squared plus 3k minus 6 on number 13. You could start factoring this the long way, but what you're going to find is that at the end there's going to be something in common that actually factors out. Much easier to deal with this at the very beginning. So if I take my common factor of 3 and get rid of that immediately, I'm going to have k squared plus k minus 2 left in the parentheses. Now, since I have a 1k squared plus k minus 2, multiply my n's, my a and my c, to get negative 2. And I need to multiply to negative 2, and I have to add to the positive 1 here in front of that k, that b term. And so 1 and negative 2 would add up to negative 1, so I'd want to flip both of those to negative 1 and positive 2. And when I do that, I can rewrite this part in parentheses as 1k squared minus 1k plus 2k minus 2. Keep my 3 out front the whole way. Notice that I don't lose that 3 because otherwise bad things can happen. In common here I have a k, a 1k, and I'm going to have a second parenthesis forming now. I'm going to have a 1k, and then I'm going to have k minus 1. And on the second group here I'm going to do a plus a 2, that's my common thing, and then another k minus 1. And then I have my common group, my k minus 1s, and my leftover group, my k plus 2, 1k plus 2, I just write as k plus 2, and I still have my 3 out front of all of that. So the fully factored version is way up at the very top, 3, k minus 1, k plus 2. Go down below, and there is no common factor all the way across, so I do need to multiply my n's here. 2 times negative 10 is negative 20, and numbers that multiply to negative 20 would be 1 and negative 20, 2 negative 10, 3 doesn't work, 4 and negative 5. And I want to add up to negative 1, so that's going to be my winner. I'm going to have 2k squared plus 4k minus 5k minus 10. In common with these first two, I have a 2k, leaving me with a k plus 4k divided by 2k is 2 left over. Second group, I have a negative 5 in common, leaving me with k, and then negative 10 divided by negative 5 is 2, so k plus 2 again. My common group, k plus 2. My leftover group, 2k minus 5. So cross out my earlier steps, and when I zoom out to see the whole big problem, I see that on the very top I've got a k plus 2 and a k plus 2 that cancel. Otherwise everything else sticks around. So I've got a 3k minus 1 out here. I've got a 2k minus 5 as an entire group on the bottom. So this right here would be your final answer. If you need more space to work out these problems, feel free to use extra paper. These can get very long. And make sure that when you do the problems, I very highly recommend that on top you work up, on bottom you work down, and expand from the middle. That way you don't lose track of your groups. It makes it a little bit easier to stay organized.